How do you set up an agent with an agent? Today we just launched Now Skills to help you set up your Now project with skills directly in your favorite agent. Today I'm going to show you how to initialize a full project, set up the context with Now Skills directly with an agent. Okay, so here I'm going to call the setup context skills. This skill will initialize a Now project and start by asking me a question of what do I want to put in the context of my analytics agent and pull all this context for me. So first, it's going to ask about which warehouse I want to add, if I want to restrict to a specific scope of data, and if I want to add some extra context, like a DBT repository or Notion documentation. So here I'm just going to create a project with a few BigQuery tables. It's running the initialization, and it's even running a first synchronization of the context. And the next step is that it's going to create some rules for me. One important piece of the analytics agent now is the rules.md. And often people were asking what I should put in it. So we actually put in the skills what should be the framework for these rules. And the skills exactly does that. It's going to scan the context that was already synchronized from the database, from the repository you added, and will create a full rules. So here's the result. You can see there's a full rules.md, and it follows a very specific structure of defining what are the most important table, what are the most important metrics, the dimensions, and what is the source of truths for each metrics, and also some rules about how to write queries, how to filter dates. So the next step is that we just want to launch the chat and see how it's actually going to work. So we directly have the chat and can start asking a question. I'm going to test by asking a question that is a bit vague, unlike our GitHub data. And you can see the agent already has all the context because we have set it up with the skills. So you could find the answer very easily. And you can even start drafting stories as I showed in the previous videos. The next steps, if you want to have a more advanced setup, is to set up Now test. So text to SQL that you validate. And we have a skill for that to create your test. So basically the agent is going to scan through the important metrics and suggest some tests to test your agent on these metrics. It's going to create the test and also test the reliability of your agent on them. So another use case maybe you already have a Now project set up and you want to know how good the context is and how you can improve it. So we have built a skill for that, which is called audit context. And what this skill is going to do is that it's going to look at your existing context repository, just check how many tables you have in the agent, are they well covered by the context, do you have tests, do you have rules, and it's going to suggest some improvements. It's also, if you have already set up tests, going to scan through the test results, going to understand where the agent fails so that it can suggest some improvement of the context. Here, for example, I don't have any rules in the rules.md. So I'm going to call another skills, which is the Right Now rules skill. And this skill basically is going to scan everything that I have in my database and my DBT repository, which I already have in the context. And it's going to create a rules.md following a structure that we have already defined because we have done a lot of testing of what actually works. At the end, I have a full rules.md file with the defined structures of list of tables, of source of truth by metrics. Thanks for watching. Please try the skills. They're available on the repository, still open source. Leave us a star and also let us know how it goes. Does it improve your context? Does it help creating tests? Give us some feedbacks and thanks for watching.